and distinguished ladies and gentlemen who listen from live streams and across the globe. My name is Sunny, and next to me the beautiful lady is Sinu. And we are your new generation Masters of Ceremony tonight.
On this day, 147 years ago, October 10th, 1874, the King of Fiji, Daunivalu Ratuseru Apinisa Lakambau, with 13 Fijian chiefs, signed the deed of cession, received her instrument of independence from Great Britain. Later, in 1987, Fiji was declared an independent republic, now the Republic of Fiji. Tonight we meet to celebrate more than those significant historical dates. We meet in gratitude to celebrate our rich history of multicultural Fiji, an intergenerational celebration of us, the Fijian people. We celebrate and reflect on our growth as a nation, thus far of our rich plural cultural traditions. As this is custom, this great nation of Australia, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we gather here. Today we pay our respects to the eldest, past, present and emerging. We extend the respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders peoples of today.
We would also like to welcome our distinguished guest, Member for Stretton, Honorary James Martin, Member of Parliament, Deputy Mayor of Logan City Council, Councillor John Raven, Fijian community leaders Ratu Mesenawa and Semi Meo, and Honorary Council Mr. Hari Raniga. We acknowledge the presence of the founder and ex-president of Islamic Society of Queensland, Secretary of Humanitarian Aid and Relief Fund for Fiji, Master Saban Ali, of Brisbane International, Ms. Subhashini Singh and Dr. Lalta Prasad, and President of Daunivalu Women's Association Queensland, Ms. Leela Pratap. We would also like to welcome our cultural performers for tonight, Matana Meke Group and Bollywood Connections-Lynne Rose Group. Tonight's production is being live streamed by Mr. Illisoni Mara and team, and we have a special live broadcast on Radio Brisvaani, courtesy of Mr. Jatish Puran. Now, as a bit of courtesy and a bit of housekeeping, I hope that everyone here has scanned the QR codes to ensure that we are keeping within Queensland Government's health measures. If you haven't done so, please do so at your earliest opportunity. With regards to mask, if you're seated, please do wear your, if you're seated, no mask required. But if you are walking around, we will let you know that please do wear your mask. The bathrooms are located behind the main auditorium, which is past the dining space. We have tea, biscuits, snacks, water, and of course a bit of kava, should anyone get a bit peckish. Please do be mindful though, there is no food in the main auditorium at the front here. In the case of an emergency, please follow the closest signs to the exit, and the meeting area is in the car park. Now, passing over the formalities, can we have everyone stand and remain standing for the Australian National Anthem, which will be followed by the Fijian National Anthem as well.
Soil
You may all be seated. To continue our program tonight, I would like to call onto stage the host of tonight's program. Deo Family Charitable Foundation Chairman Mr. Jitendra Deo, as most of you know as JD, would like to welcome us all here. JD is a productive advocate for overall well-being of all Fijian people and is a multicultural ambassador in Queensland for Mental Health Foundation Australia. Mr. Deo also hosts a program to create awareness to health and social issues and sharing memories of yesterdays from Fiji through Coffee with JD and Merisafa, respectively. The Deo Family Foundation and JD have supported Fiji through the previous endeavours such as building materials to support to Fiji through Cyclone Yasa. JD is also a president of Ara Samaj Queensland. We acknowledge the generosity of JD Electrical, JD Smoke Alarms, JD Solar, and the Deo Reality of supporting tonight's event. Please welcome Mr. Jitendra Deo to the stage.
#51st Fiji Day since our independence on 10th October 1970. You have just seen one of the great founding fathers, Ratu Sekame Mara, who was the Fiji's first Prime Minister receiving the instruments of Fiji's independence from Prince Charles, who was representing our Queen Elizabeth II. Today we acknowledge and salute all our past visionary leaders who made this possible. The Republic of Fiji Islands is a multicultural island nation with a blend of Melanesian, Polynesian, and Micronesian backgrounds, and are greatly influenced by the vibrant Indian, Chinese, European, and other South Pacific cultures, particularly Rotuman and Tongan. The Republic has 320 islands, with 100 of these being inhabited. Fiji is preparing to open up its international borders by end of this year. And if you or your families and friends haven't had the opportunity to taste the warmth of Fiji, I call upon you to make visiting Fiji a top bucket list item for 2022. This will not only lift the economy but also assist people of Fiji who have suffered a lot due to the extended COVID lockdowns. Celebrations as such tonight bring the community together and enhance the social fabric of multiculturalism. The audience present here is the testimony of multiculturalism both Fiji and Australia enjoy and symbolizes the harmonious life we lead. For me personally, being fourth generation Indo-Fijian, the opportunities in Fiji were numerous. The education system being of a high standard with English as the medium of education, catered well for the majority of people in Fiji. The beautiful island nation has offered us numerous opportunities to study and make our careers. Fiji has produced many doctors, lawyers, tradesmen, teachers, and engineers, many of whom have settled all over the globe. Despite leaving Fiji many years ago, most of us maintain our social and active ties to Fiji. We still have the same love for our food, enjoy the music, and follow the vibrant culture. I hope you all had an opportunity to taste some of the famous kava, which is at the back of the hall, and partake in the blend of Fiji traditional meals with my all-time favorite, the delicious Lovo tonight. The simplicity of Fijians is astounding. Their welcoming Bula smile is all famous, and this is what makes people of Fiji one of the friendliest people in the world. This evening's event is a reflection of our togetherness, our love of culture, and our love of food. I'm sure you will see and experience all these in the next couple hours. We are a very resilient lot. I can relate to numerous occurrences where we have stood together in good and bad times, through sporting successes like winning medals at Olympics, to supporting one another during the cyclones, devastating floods, and pandemic. Tonight is such a day where we celebrate the 51st Fiji Day of the Republic of Fiji. As a host tonight's event, I would like to highlight the key objective of their Family Charitable Foundation and it's to celebrate Fiji and its people. As part of our objective, the Foundation organized the Gidimit Remembrance Day in May this year, and tonight we are celebrating Fiji and its people and the visionary leaders of H.E. The Dio Family Charitable Foundation has undertaken to fund selected programs related to the promotion of Fiji culture in both the Fijian and Hindi languages. The regular program, Meri Safar Ki Yadein, is a popular talk show where seniors in the community share their life's journey and inspires the next generation. Coffee with JD is another initiative which helps to raise the awareness on both common health problems amongst the Fijian diaspora and addresses the social issues faced by our people. We thank you all for accepting our invitation to celebrate this joyous occasion and hope you all will enjoy this evening's event, the cultural shows, and the traditional Fijian food. We are honored to have received special messages to mark this important occasion from the Prime Minister of Fiji and also His Excellency, Fiji's High Commissioner to Australia. Please enjoy the evening. Vinaka Vakalevu, Dhandavad, and thank you.
Thanks, Dad. That was nice. Our next item is a dance item. How exciting, everyone. Can we get some smiles, some happiness in this room? Yeah? Thank you. So, our next item, as I said, is a dance group. And as they do prepare, let me give you a bit of history of our performance tonight. So, Matana Group embodies and embraces Fijian culture through Meke, Talua, arts, language, and education. They have been sharing traditions since the group's formation in March 2016 under the Brisbane KVT Sports and Socials Club Incorporated and officially launched in July 2016. So as I said, tonight is a night of celebration, so let's put our hands together and welcome onto stage Matana Meke.
Can we get another round of applause for Matana Meke? What an awesome performance, and yes, there's more coming up. Our people in Fiji and us here, Fijians overseas, enjoys the friendship of close, trusted friends. The Honourable James Martin is no stranger to many of us Queensland Fijians. In fact, a few months ago, Honourable Martin was a speaker in our Fiji Gidimit celebrations in the same venue. It is on record his electorate is most multicultural constitute in Queensland and probably Australia. We like to see him as one of us. Please put your hands together and welcome Honourable James Martin, MP member of Stretton, on stage.
Thanks, mate. Not just an MC, Sunil. Thank you. Thank you, Sonny and Sunil, for your very lively and entertaining MCing. My name is James Martin, and I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and may pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. To the organisers, the DO family, the charitable DO Charitable Foundation, to Deputy Mayor John Raven, to the Honorary Consul of the Consulate of the Republic of Fiji, Mr. Raniga, who I met just before, and to all the dignitaries here today. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. And on behalf of the Government of Queensland, I'd like to wish you all a happy 51st anniversary celebrating the independence of Fiji from Great Britain. Your country, the beautiful Fiji Islands and its people, have a long relationship with Queensland, and I'm here today to celebrate this. We have a strong bilateral relationship with extensive people-to-people links and also important trade and investment ties. Historically, both Fiji and Queensland do share a colonial past, and I do take this opportunity to acknowledge the Indigenous people of Fiji, the E2K people, and also the Rotuman people. Did I pronounce that correctly? Apologies. And also to recognise that these communities were obviously impacted by colonisation. Similarly, I recognise the Indigenous people of where we meet today, the Jagera and Turrbal people, and recognise their connection with this land for over 60,000 years. I also want to recognise the Gearmit people who, as you mentioned, I was here for the Gearmit function not that long ago. It was in March. And recognise the 60,000, more than 60,000 Indian indentured labourers who were recruited to work in the country's sugarcane plantations, and acknowledge the many hardships that they faced. And these communities, along with the Chinese and European communities, do make Fiji a truly multicultural community, as Queensland is a truly multicultural state. We have a shared history in our part of the globe, and as Queensland separated from New South Wales in 1859 to become a colony, firstly the colony of Queensland and later the state of Queensland after federation in 1901. And likewise, Fiji was a colony of the United Kingdom until October the 10th, 1970, when Fiji became independent 51 years ago. As was also mentioned, the electorate of Stretton, which I represent, is the most multicultural electorate in Queensland. I'm not sure about Australia, but it's definitely in Queensland, with more people born overseas or who speak a language other than English at home. We do have an active and vibrant Fijian community in Stretton, and your contribution to, you contribute so much to our local area, and as your local MP, can I say that I'm very happy that you've chosen to move to this part of Queensland. Certainly trade and our shared history are important when looking at the Queensland-Fiji relationship. However, along with trade and history, I see that the main contribution of the Fiji community in one specific area that benefits Queensland the most, and that is brain power. Queensland benefits so much from the many professionals, experts, business people who've come here to study and work. More than that, we benefit from your children. The value that you place on education is evident to me whenever I hear about how your children are going at school, or getting into good university courses, or starting up businesses, or going to TAFE, studying apprenticeships. And I really think that this, the Fijian mums and dads, their value of education really contributes to the why our local area is such a multicultural success story. It would also be remiss of me not to mention the fantastic contribution that Fijians have made to our sporting teams, particularly Australian sporting teams. In particular, rugby union and rugby league players like Lottie Takiri, and the legend, of course, Petro Sivanasiva, who started at the Broncos back in 1998 and played 33 State of Origins for Queensland. So thank you, Fiji. I understand that State of Origin is very popular in Fiji, and people are proud to see Fijian heritage players competing at the highest level. I'm also excited about the upcoming Olympics, the 2032 Olympics, and I hope to see many Australian athletes hopefully winning gold, and let's hope we see some Fijian heritage Australian athletes winning gold. Also, some Fijians should win gold too. And congratulations to the recent gold medal that Fiji won in Tokyo, actually. In addition to contributing to our local economy, the Fijian diaspora have also made a significant contribution back to the Fijian economy. And in the height of this COVID pandemic, we've seen that the communities here supporting your communities back home in Fiji, and we understand that that's a major part of the Fijian economy as well. So in conclusion, may I pay tribute to the Queensland Fijians who have for many years been proud members and willing participants of all sectors of life in our great state. And thank you to the hosts for tonight's program, the Dio Family Charitable Foundation, who continue to serve the Fijian diaspora in Queensland. Happy 51st Fijian Independence Day.
That was actually a really informative speech. Love that. The parallels between Fiji and Queensland, I would have never guessed. Now, from the most multicultural electorate to the most multicultural city in Queensland, and probably Australia, we'll take that, Logan City, where we now celebrate. It is indeed an honour to have another one of our close friends in the community, the Deputy Mayor of Logan City Council, Councillor John Raven. Now, Councillor Raven has been an active member in the community, representing the residents of Logan City Council since 2016. Councillor Raven, Chair of Planning, Economic Development and Environment Committee, and apart from Auckland City in New Zealand, Logan City actually has the highest population of Pacific Islanders. We can say that he is also one of us. Please put your hands together and let's welcome to the stage Councillor John Raven.
That's okay, but I'll move it. You ready? I'm going to move this because, and this is a secret that I only tell my closest friends, lecterns terrify me. So if I'm standing in front of a lectern, I have like pasty lips, so I can't speak properly, but if I walk over here, I become very charismatic, I become relaxed, and I become friendly. My name is John Raven. I'm the Deputy Mayor of the City of Logan, and let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and their elders past, present, and emerging, but also the elders of your community who are here this evening, especially my good friend Jatendra, who we've worked closely to help with matters in the Fijian and the broader community as well for a long time now, and it's my great pleasure to be here today, and thank you for inviting me. Logan is the most multicultural city in the country, if not the world. The state only has 220 different ethnicities. 217 of them live in Logan. So I don't know who those other three groups are, but we should bring them down here. So it's my great pleasure to represent one of the most diverse parts of the most diverse city in the world. And that means that we have to not just talk about diversity, but we actually have to communicate with each other. We have to spend time with each other. We have to really sing the praises of diversity and leverage the benefits of it. Because one horse can pull 4 tons, 2 horses can pull 12 tons. Imagine how many tons 217 horses can pull. So that difference is what increases our capacity. Those differences, and sharing what we understand about each other to break down barriers and really thrive together is what makes Logan unique and what makes it the smartest decision you've ever made to be involved in Logan City. The Fijian community is a community that I've been close to for a very long time, and I love your food, your kava, and also your dancing. The last time I was here in this building, I may have done some belly dancing. I'll try to avoid doing that this evening. I've got a bad back. We'll say that. We'll say I've got a bad back. But I also want to acknowledge the great work of the Palaszczuk Labor government, and James's hard work as being a recent member of that, but he's been contributing to that cause for a long time, that we're even able to meet here today to sit comfortably, no masks on, and enjoy each other's company, and ultimately some amazing food. So that is something that we've taken for granted for decades, and now it's something special that we can actually sit, be comfortable, and enjoy each other's company. So let's enjoy our time together. Thank you. I just met Harry not even 5 minutes ago, and he's already telling me how to pronounce his name properly. So, Raniga? Yes! Thank you. Thank you very much. And the only reason I did that was because I saw James was worried. And I was like, if James is worried and he represents the most diverse state electorate in Queensland, then I've got to double check. So thank you very much. Please come and speak to me. If there's anything I can ever do to help you, I'm here for you, because my job is to serve you and connect our communities together so that we can enrich each other and we can enjoy a prosperous city for a long time to come. Thank you very much, and happy 51st Fijian Day.
Thank you so much for your message, Councillor. We now move forward to another dance performance from Matana, who will be shaking it up with the Meke. Meke, for those of you who don't know, is a traditional style of dance usually performed at festivals and celebrations, and it's a great showcase in Fijian culture. Let's give a warm welcome to Matana.
Giza tola viale bubanua sabakaleke wakade muningu yalo ginda utan rabiano na lenda langasere na lube asewa ina rukuni dingilo.
In the Indian dance space with performances at dance competitions, Diwali, and private events. I hope they're ready. Can we please give a warm welcome to Bollywood Connections-Lynne Rose Group?
बजने ते धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी धड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक फटक साली दुश्मन की देखो जो फाट लावली अरे बजने ते धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी धड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक फटक साली दुश्मन की देखो जो फाट लावली बजने ते धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी धड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक फटक साली दुश्मन की देखो बड़ी चली है जो थी चिंगारी छोटी चिंगारी बड़ी 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 है मन की अलमारी आज अलमारी हुई सतरंगी सादी सतरंगी हुई सतरंगी थी जो ये रात काली धड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक फटक साली दुश्मन की देखो जो बात लावली Hey dola re dola re dola re dola. Hey dola re.
Thank you, Lynn Gross Group. What an energetic performance. In 2017, after the visit of Queensland of the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, followed an announcement of the reporting of Fiji's Honorary Council representative in Brisbane after more than 30 years. The Honorary Prime Minister's appointment is our next speaker. Honorary Council Hari Raniga, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Raniga on the stage.
I'm in trouble. The two things, whenever a gathering happens, one is bogged down, is after dinner speech, and then the other one is music. Who wants to hear me after the Bollywood presentation? I wish they could go along, on and on. It's such a festive situation. But it marks out that is true spirit of Fiji Day celebration. On that note, thank you very much, Sino and Shanil, the Master of Ceremonies for the evening. I appreciate your kind words about me. And I take this opportunity to pay my respect to the owners of the traditional land, elders, past, present, and future. And at the same time, I take opportunity to pay my respect to the elders of Fiji, both the past, present, and the emerging ones, especially the elder leaders in Fiji and those who have migrated and settled in Australia. They mean a lot to Fiji's heritage and culture. I also acknowledge the presence of all the dignitaries that were mentioned before by Jitendra, and please accept my happiness that you are here joining us to celebrate the Fiji Day. On 10th of October 1970, Fiji got its independence from Great Britain, and it is the 51st year of the Fiji Day celebration. And on that note, I wish you all a very happy Fiji Day. It becomes very difficult when there are a group of speakers ahead of, like I'm speaking. Jitendra, in his opening address, mentioned so many things about Fiji, which I thought I'll mention. Then came Honorable James, and he mentioned things about the trade, the cooperation between Fiji and Australia and the Queensland. And then the Councillor Logan took over, and he mentioned about the community. So what do I say? You know, in this case, it is better to be remembering the word kiss. You know, it says keep it short and sweet. That's what probably I have to do. But you have all heard the history of Fiji, how Fiji became a crown colony, and then years later we got our independence, and you know, things progress. But if I open up the Pandora and go back and say about Fiji's history and all those things, you know, it's non-ending. It's so rich and so interesting, and I will not do justification in such a short time. So I would sort of, you know, fast forward things to bring it up to the present day. And I take it from the previous speakers when they mentioned about the relationship that exists between Fiji and Australia. And it took a long time. Australia at one time was actually the colonial master in Fiji. And we had all the civil servants, all the people from Australia. I don't know if you all recall that 130 years ago, the first bank that came in Fiji was Bank of New South Wales, which has now renamed as Westpac Bank. So our first bank in Fiji was Bank of New South Wales. And if I look at my archive, I still have the first checkbook my father opened the account in 1962. So that's the history I'm carrying myself about Fiji. But, you know, bringing, as I said, fast forward, I'll relate an incident. I don't know whether you all have heard about this. This goes back to the colonial era, an incident that happened that we had everything in Fiji made in England, from our cars to food and everything. It was all made in England. We imported it. So in that early era, one of the top shoe manufacturer of England sent one of his marketing executives to Fiji to go and survey the Fiji market and see if they can sell shoes in Fiji. So the executive came, and 2 days after, he sent the report to England, to head office, and said, nobody in Fiji wears shoes. And they will never wear shoes. We are wasting our time. Let's move on to another country where we can sell our shoes. And lo and behold, he flew out of Fiji, didn't sell any shoes, didn't do any work. A month later, the opposition company came with his representative. He was given the task to explore Fiji as a market. He came, stayed, and a day later, he sent the following reports to head office. Virgin market, nobody wears shoes. It is an open thing. We have all the opportunity to market our shoes and create a market that we can be market leaders. Now, that's the difference between the two people. One was forward-thinking, visionary, and he was with it. And that's what, when I look at it today, when I say fast forward, similar thing happened with our leaders. Our earlier leaders were visionary, thinkers, positive mind. If you look at it, doesn't matter which section they came up, whether they were Fijian, Indian, Chinese, or European, whether they were following a particular spirituality, whether they came from a particular political party, whether they had different personalities. It didn't matter whether they were opposition or in the government. They had one thing in common. That was advancement of Fiji and its people. And you fast forward it today, what has happened? We are all wearing shoes in Fiji. And the progress that we have made, when you look at it, you know, in this fashion, that today Councillor Rowan mentioned and the Honourable mentioned that, you know, people of Fiji have maintained their culture. And that's where it comes. When you look at it, everyone is maintaining their cultural and spiritual identity. It doesn't matter which form you come from, but you maintain your cultural and spiritual values. You look at our education system, it's so advanced. We export highly educated people from Fiji. You look at our medical facilities, we've got some great doctors that were made in Fiji and are in the rest of the part of the world that they're doing great work. I remember one specific heart surgeon in States who is a top scholar today and still performing heart surgeries. There are many in Australia that are doing same thing. Look at our communication. We are world leaders in communication. Fintel in Fiji is a provider of communication even to space. The world, America, uses Fiji Fintel to communicate to space. You look at our infrastructure in transportation, look at our commerce and industry, look at our agriculture, fisheries and forest, look at our urban and rural electrification. We are 98% electricity in Fiji. All the homes have got electricity. Tourism and travel. Well, some of our resorts are world known and they pay umpteen dollars to hire an island and bring. I was told that during this pandemic, some of the high profile, like Facebook founder, hired an island and he's been there, he is still there and operating his business from that island. Now that's our tourism. You look at our army and navy, they're top class. We send our army to rest of the world to defend. That's Fiji, and they still wear shoes. You look at our Fiji currency and our foreign exchange. I get almost every month, I get a letter from the Reserve Bank of Fiji, and the report says we are so advanced and rich in our foreign exchange, our exports, and our currency is stable. We are not sort of yo-yo like many countries go through their exchange. We are very stable. And then you look at our sports and recreation. We are trying to become leaders. We were mentioned what Fiji people have done in our rugby here. We have done same thing in golf. If you look at Vijay Singh, he was a world #1 golfer, Hall of Fame. You know, these things are very rare award. Vijay and I have played golf in Fiji. I have played golf with his father and mother. That's where Vijay comes from. That's where I come from. So it's a long, very long history. There are, the list can go on. I can mention so many things about Fiji. There are other factors. One of the major factors that the leaders of the past era could see was facilitated for people of Fiji to travel and migrate to other countries. And in those early days when the migration was there, people went to UK, Canada, and America. Then of recent years, our people are coming to Australia and New Zealand. But you look at what has happened. You go to any part of the world today, you'll find somebody, some connection from Fiji, and they're doing well. They fit with the society, they integrate with the society and take on. Fiji people are recognized because they're made in Fiji, and their ancestors, like the newborn in Australia, still has the connection in Fiji. So today, when you look at around yourself, here you look at today, many of you are first generation migrant from Fiji, but you still hold Fiji as your traditional cultural and value system. You know, whenever it comes, Fiji has got something special that I can't express. It's like love. You know, you can't tell anybody how I love you, but you express it. It comes from within, and that's what Fiji people are. They express their warmth and their culture and their togetherness. And you look at the migrant here today, and even in this room, they have such a strong bond with the families and friends in Fiji, yet they're assimilated here in Australia, and they're with it. And if you look at it, the time we are passing through because of the pandemic, there's so much pain, but the people are still helpful and hopeful, and they're looking forward that very shortly the travel borders will open and we'll be able to travel back and forth from Fiji to the rest of the world. This morning I received a report from the Prime Minister's office that we have reached 80.3% vaccination. Now this is as fresh as you can get. And they are planning, in conjunction with the Fiji Air, that we will be able to travel probably end of November, if not early December. We would be able to travel to Fiji. All our hotels are geared for that, welcoming you. All our facilities, all the airlines, I think Qantas, Virgin, Air Pacific are now booking for March and April next year. And the deal they're giving you, you can travel back and forth for $200. So that's the time of things that is coming after COVID. So on that note, I wish I could have said more about the Fiji's history and go on. It's so interesting. So many things can be said about Fiji, apart from that people in Fiji still wear shoes. I take this opportunity to really thank the Deo family, especially Jitan and his family, and then those who have assisted him in making this tonight's function a successful one, especially the presence of the dignitaries. And there are a lot of things like the Bollywood people, the Meke, and then there are people who have prepared food and other preparations. These things take a lot of time. It's a thankless task. I have been in public organization, organizing things. I know what it is. It requires dedication and a special mindset for organizing such things. Again, that comes from the heritage that we all have come from. So on that note, once again, I would like to say, be proud of your Fiji heritage, enjoy the Fiji Day, and pass my family's regard to your family. May all you be happy. Raniga.
Thank you, Honorary Council Hari Raniga. Honestly, I'm going to have to book my next flight to Fiji because I deserve a break after this, and I am going to take you on that. We will now play a message, keeping with the theme of Fiji, from His High Commission in Fiji, His Excellency Luke Daunivalu.
Nisambula Binaka. As we mark Fiji's 51st anniversary of independence today, I would like on behalf of the Fiji High Commission in Canberra to wish you all a very happy Fiji Day. This occasion provides us an opportunity to celebrate our journey as a nation. While learning valuable lessons from the past, we are looking to the future and moving forward. A familiar proverb reminds us that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The past 12 months would have taught us this valuable lesson. We can and will overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges by working together, sharing resources, and helping one another. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in Fiji has been enormous. All countries, of course, are experiencing the crushing blow of the pandemic in so many different ways. But the impact on small island nations like Fiji have been particularly severe. Without the help that Fijians have been receiving from our wuvale or family in Australia through the Commonwealth Government, Friends of Fiji, the Fijian communities, groups and individuals based here, Fiji would have been in a far worse state. So I want to express our sincere gratitude to the Australian government and Fijian friends here for your untiring and continuing support to Fiji. Far from weakening our bonds, the pandemic has served to strengthen our cooperation as nations and peoples of the Blue Pacific. The Fiji-Australia Wuvale partnership that was signed by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama and Prime Minister Scott Morrison in 2019 is proving its worth at this challenging time. While each of our countries have difficult pandemic-related issues domestically to contend with, there is little doubt that the bilateral cooperation between Fiji and Australia has soared to greater heights. The Wuvale partnership is enabling both our countries to forge ahead into the future on mutually beneficial terms. At the core of that framework is the strong people-to-people links. As we look to the year ahead, nothing gives us more hope than the strong and encouraging track record of our ongoing mutual support. No matter how long you may have been away from Fiji or the geographical distance that separates us, nothing can take away the joy and pride that comes from the positive impact you are making through your contributions to Fijians back home. I want to thank you, our Fijian families, friends, and communities living here in Australia for the tremendous support you have been providing. Together, we are co-workers in nation building. In celebrating our 51st anniversary as an independent nation, we are acknowledging the sacrifice of Fiji's forebears and what they have passed down to us. We are also renewing our commitment to build on their positive legacy. More importantly, we embrace our responsibility to transfer to our children and descendants a secure, prosperous future. We hope to be able to travel as easily and frequently again soon so we can see one another in person. We look forward to continuing our collaboration in building our economies and societies. Have a safe and enjoyable Fiji Day celebrations.
Vinaka, Fiji's High Commissioner Logan Daunivalu. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now very privileged to have a special message from our very own Prime Minister of the Republic of Fiji. We will now play a message from the Honourable Josaia Voreqe Bainimarama.
Bula Vinaka and a very happy Fiji Day. Last year, our celebration of the 50th anniversary of independence in Fiji was one for the history books. But amidst our pride and happiness, I'll never forget the cloud of uncertainty that hung over us. We were apart from our Fijian family and friends around the world, including here in Australia. And no one could put hand over heart and say how long our separation would last. I may still be speaking with you through a screen for now, but we know that this is the last Fiji Day that we will be forced to celebrate apart from each other. Finally, this pandemic has an end date. We are going to travel again, and we will travel safely. That day is coming very soon. It has been a hard journey to get here. Much has happened in Fiji, and we can be proud of the way we have overcome almost unspeakable adversity and hardship. No one escaped this ordeal, whether they were in developed countries or developing countries, wealthy or poor, in cities or on remote islands, young or old, male or female. This was a burden shared around the world, but it is a burden we are shedding bit by bit, every week, and we can be proud of what we have overcome and of the way we have overcome it together. Through it all, many of you have done more than watch from afar. You have stood with Fiji and your fellow Fijians with prayer and with financial support. Remittances to Fiji from our Fijian diaspora from everywhere in the world are up. I want you to know we are doing far more than enduring this challenge. We are emerging from it stronger. We have rallied as a nation, day by day and jab by jab. We are making Fiji the safest it has been since the start of the pandemic. On 19 March 2020, 570 long days ago, we shut the tap on regular passenger travel into Fiji. It was a drastic step, but we had no choice. It came at great cost. Overnight, we lost at least 40% of our GDP and 115,000 Fijians became unemployed. We had to act quickly to aid our people, and we did it by rolling out the largest cash transfer between government and the people in history. We are still providing unemployment benefits, with another $100 million disbursing next month. We are supporting farmers to grow our way to an economic recovery. We are supporting micro, small and medium enterprises with loans. We are removing administrative roadblocks to improve our ease of doing business and encourage investments. And we are providing financial incentives and removing legal impediments to raise the value of Itoke land and make it more attractive for investment so that landowners are empowered to take full advantage of their land. When the Delta variant erupted in Fiji, we didn't muck around with our people's health or risk losing the battle to misinformation before it began. We made COVID-19 vaccines a requirement to work or receive unemployment benefits, and it worked. Fiji is one of the fastest vaccinated countries in the world. Over 75% of adults are fully vaccinated and over 96% have one dose. As those numbers keep climbing, hospitalizations are decreasing, our curfew hours are steadily shortening, and our businesses, workplaces, and houses of worship have reopened from the 4th of October to double-dosed adults. Our children between the ages of 12 and 18 are being vaccinated so we can get our schools back open. And soon, we are going to reopen to the world. Gradually at first, with Australia as our top priority. In a normal year, 350,000 Aussies would come to Fiji for work and holiday. At the economic level, in 2019, two-way trade between our countries stood at over 1 billion Fijian dollars. And at the government level, our nations have never been closer. The Vuwale partnership between Fiji and Australia is the deepest and widest ranging partnership that Fiji has had with any country. Our friends in Australia have supplied nearly 1 million COVID-19 vaccines to Fiji, a gesture we will never forget. But our partnership is not whole, so as long as our people cannot be together. It pains me to know that so many of our citizens have been denied what we all once took for granted: the freedom to travel about our country and be with friends and family. I have missed that in my own life. I have missed traveling to the communities. I have missed being face to face with our people. And I have missed large family gatherings, especially in times of grief. Yet I know it has been a much greater burden for you, one that I want to lift from your shoulders as soon as possible. Australia is indicating that its borders could open soon. We will be ready. In a matter of days, 80% of adults in Fiji will be fully vaccinated. Our plan is to welcome fully vaccinated travelers from Australia. It will be a no jab, no fly policy. So I urge you to be vaccinated wherever you are. If you have not gotten your jab yet, do so as soon as you can. Our plan will be to allow fully vaccinated tourists from Australia with no quarantine requirement. We will have tourism areas established where visitors can safely enjoy the best of our islands. If you are a resident in Fiji or simply have friends and family you are aching to see outside of our tourism areas, don't worry. We have you covered. You will be able to do so in accordance with the new package of protocols we will announce soon. The safest way to return to Fiji is on Fiji Airways. Our national carrier has achieved the highest possible Skytrax 5-star COVID-19 airline safety rating and the Diamond certification by the Airline Passenger Experience Association, or APEX. I've seen their protocols firsthand. The Fiji Airways team have been waiting this day for months, and they are more than ready to fly you safely to our shores. And once you arrive, nearly every hotel and tour operator in Fiji is certified under the Care Fiji Commitment Program. I'm sure all of you remember well the last time you were in Fiji, the last hug you shared with friends and family, the last sunset you watched in our islands. None of us expected that it would be nearly 2 long years between drinks. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and we are walking towards it together. This Fiji Day, when we say we will see you soon, we mean it. Pinakapakalevu, happy Fiji Day, and God bless you all.
What a powerful message, isn't it? It's great to see such a tight bond between Australia and Fiji. And of course, we all look forward to going back to Fiji sometime soon. Now, I know, we're getting close to the end of the program, and the smell of Lovo is slowly wafting its way into the front auditorium. And I know that we're all excited to partake in some devouring of dinner, actually. But as protocol does demand, a vote of thanks must be in order, and I'd like to call onto stage Mrs. Soko Nico. As she's coming up, and a bit of an introduction, Soko is a immediate past president of the Rotary Club of Brisbane International, a community worker, a high school teacher, and she is extremely passionate about growing our Fijian identity, as well as she's from Daunivalu. Now let's all put our hands together and give a roaring welcome to Soko Nico.
Awesome. Nimbula Vinaka. Salam alaikum and namaskaram this evening. Just before I move the vote of thanks for this auspicious occasion, I would like to acknowledge also the Fijian Language Week this week. So I'll need to address on behalf of the Brisbane community what our Fijian language has been upholded in our heart this tonight. Ia nimbula binaka na wakanda wararongo tikumai na vesa ibiti kay burabura na kabi binaka ni kuwa. Kita be wasay talitika ningo I Brisbane na kena may maraw tagitiko na bosa pagabiti e burabura. Oya wen dua ungas ni buli talanga may biti toko na baka lebusara na bosa pagabiti. Nambang ibinaka ni kuwa kita bakang Bula tiga ni Brisbane, Queensland. Weke muni ke sara na marama turang ang balen ni nonta panua tinikabana sana. May napanua lamani o viti. Niarong o the tigo na bosa may buwana turang na Prime Minister. Voreqe Bainimarama ki may mimaraw takatiko na tabi pa kay authority ko may indala niabo. Binakasawa ka levo, nanonta may toko na tiko na songko binakongko. E nambongi binaka ni kuwa, kay may bakang Bula talitiko ngayon ka kay may maraw takatiko. Na kaya na sato may thambeta talitiko na limas nga bulo kandua. Ni tuba kay koya koviti nandon nga unang balabo. May bakalaw nga tatay kaya munike de tiko, na kani turang o chisu, e na kabi binaka ni kuwa. A distinguished guest, thank you so much for giving me this platform to move the vote of thanks on behalf of the Jitendra Deo Family Trust, as we can see, being showcased around the banners and also the flags up here on the stage. I have a list of people who have put together this wonderful event tonight to thank and say, Binakabakalebu, of doing this for us to come and see and enjoy what we have witnessed thus far tonight. First of all, I would like to say to the Honorable Prime Minister, thank you for highlighting everything that is happening to Fiji, and we are very much looking forward to travel across to Fiji. And also to the Honorable Excellent Logan Daunivalu, the Fiji High Commissioner, thank you so much for giving his time and also addressing us this evening. And of course, those who have been invited to address us, also the Councillor, John Raven. Wonderful. I still remember the dancing up here, but thank you for choosing to be here with us as you are multicultural. Deputy Mayor of Logan, again, we extend our pinakapakalevu to your presence this evening. And also to the member of the Stretton, as we have been told, he has got the largest multicultural electorate here in Brisbane. Thank you for addressing and bringing the highlight of the bilateral trade and most of all, just giving our young people that economic, social, financial, and sporting information that links between the two nations. Moving on, I've got the committee. Of course, have been mentioned by the three people who have spoken tonight. The committee, Semi Meo, Lalta Prasad, Dhirendra Singh, and Philippe Nico for your tireless effort in putting everything together, the food, the program, and inviting all our guests. Not forgetting the shoe story. Of course, our consulate, Harry Raniga, wonderful history. I was looking forward to unpack Fiji, the land and the people, of freedom and control. One of the common textbooks back at home. It is so good to hear what you have mentioned tonight. Like I said, I won't repeat, but it's just a wide scope from economic, financial, social, religious, and right across to the sporting field. Thank you for reminding our younger generations to come that the legacy is there. While you were speaking, it's just echoes again, the late Ratasukuna, and of course, the late Sadit Koya, who have done a lot of marvelous work in Fiji. That's why we are here. Wonderful speech, sir. Thank you so much. Moving on, we have Emma and Jitendra. Thank you for your contribution. And of course, our entertainment group, the Matana Meke group. Thank you so much for giving us that vibe from the Fijian culture, the Meke. Thank you, girls, and of course, the boys as well. The Bollywood connections with Miss Lena Rose. And of course, our that particular group has got, you can see the performances are not only the Indians, but they did perform here on the Girmit event, and they have mentioned about the amount of people that is trying to be part of that Indian dances, the Bollywood. Once again, Vinagabagalevu to you people. And moving on, I have Vanita Kumar for preparing the media. Thank you, Vanita. And also to the Bula boys for the Lovo that is ready for the second part of this evening's function. And also I have, last but not the least, Miss Lalta Prasad for preparing the palau as well. Before I sit, can I call upon the Dale Family Charitable Foundation for hosting the event tonight? And can they come up to the stage? Jitendra Dale or JD, Sanjashni, the beautiful wife, and the two sons, Ravnil and Sunil. Now, we need to thank this family for hosting not only just the venue, but financially and putting everything together. As I have mentioned, looking around the room, you can see the pull-up banners and what's behind us that is mentioned here. It's done and put together by this wonderful family. And also, I would say here, promoting their business from housing, which is their reality, and most of us are using them for our electrical fitting and whatever you need, they are here. Look at these wonderful boys. What else can we say? Let's give another big round of applause to this jail family. Jitendra, you want to say something to the people?
Binakapakalebu Soko. Thank you, everyone. I'm so thankful to you all for being here tonight. And the game is not over yet. We have got a few more performances, energetic performances left. And also the dance floor is open now. So please do enjoy that. And once again, thank you so much for being here and supporting us and the foundation. And happy Fiji Day. Thank you.
Vinaka Ms. Sokoniko for the lovely vote of thanks. The dance floor is open today, and we welcome back on stage Bollywood Reconnect. Everyone put your hands together for Bollywood Reconnect.
जो तेरी सखियां अरे घुंघटा उठा के मिला ले तू अखियां कहने दे कहती है जो तेरी सखियां ये प्रीत है पुरानी मैं राजा और तू रानी हाँ तेरे मेरे जन्मों के वादे राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 तेरे बिना कृष्णा तो लगे आधे आधे राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 तेरे बिना कृष्णा तो लगे आधे आधे राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 तेरे बिना कृष्णा तो लगे आधे आधे की कहानी पूरी भी है अधूरी भी है हम दोनों की कहानी ये प्रेम तो रहेगा अमर कहता है जमुना का पानी करते हैं चालाकी ये करके ताकता की हाँ नैन तेरे नैन सीधे साधे राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 तेरे बिना कृष्णा तो लगे आधे आधे राधे 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 ओ राधे 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 तेरे बिना कृष्णा तो लगे आधे आधे राधे
ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੁੜੀਓ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਨੱਚਣਾ
ਹਾਏ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਹਾਏ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਘੱਗਰਾ ਹਾਏ ਤੜਪਾਵੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਨ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਘੱਗਰਾ ਰਾਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਦ ਉਡਾਵੇ ਬਿੱਲੋਣੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਬਿੱਲੋਣੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਘੱਗਰਾ ਬਿੱਲੋਣੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਘੱਗਰਾ ਬਿੱਲੋਣੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਲਾਲ ਘੱਗਰਾ
मुखड़े ते काला काला सुरमा तक तक रामा मैनू करना गुरूर ना हाय गोरे गोरे मुखड़े ते काला 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 सुरमा तक तक रामा मैनू करना गुरूर ना ओ नच के नचावे दिल नू जलावे जो हिले तेरा लक कोई पाए बचना तड़पावे हाय लुट जावे तैनू तड़पावे हाय लुट जावे मेरा लाल घग्गरा तैनू तड़पावे हाय लुट जावे मेरा लाल घग्गरा रातां नू नींद न आवे हाय नी मेरा लाल 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 हाय नी मेरा लाल घग्गरा दिलों नी तेरा लाल घग्गरा नी मेरा लाल घग्गरा है दिलों नी मेरा लाल घग्गरा ओ तेरा घग्गरा घग्गरा तेरा घग्गरा ओ तेरा घग्गरा घग्गरा तेरा घग्गरा ओ तेरा घग्गरा घग्गरा तेरा घग्गरा ओ तेरा घग्गरा
Thank you. I just wanted to, I'm not too sure if the MC mentioned it or not, but those last two dances, or the first two dances we just did then, Radhi and Lal Gagri, were actually choreographed by Shabnam Lakka from Delhi Dance Academy, which we did on Zoom. And I actually sent Delhi Dance Academy the link tonight, so they should be watching as well, so hopefully we did them proud. Hey, Nazir and everyone. So thank you very much for having us here. This last song is India Wali, and I know we're here with Fiji tonight, so by all means, if you want to sing Fijian Wali, please do it, because Fiji's in the house tonight, and we'd love you to join us. And if you want to jump up and dance as well too, that'd be great. Thank you.
मारे या कोई मारे ना यहाँ अपनी भी थोड़ी अदा थोड़ा अंदाज है ऐसे हैं चाहे वैसे हैं अरे जो भी हैं जैसे हैं खुद पे हमें नाज है जाने ना हमको ये ज़माना चाहो तो हमको आज़माना यारबाज हम चालसाज हम इश्कबाज दिल वाले कहते हैं हमको प्यार से इंडिया वाले छू लेते दिल के तार से इंडिया वाले हर जीत छीन ले हार से इंडिया वाले दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले यूं तो सीधे बड़े कभी चाहे तो हाथों से लेते लकीरें चुरा ओ हमको परवाह नहीं जो भी कहता है कहने दे जग ये भला या बुरा जैसी भी मर्जी हो हमारी करते हैं ऐसी होशियारी पर दिल से यार जो ले पुकार तो जान सार कर डाले कहते हैं हमको प्यार से इंडिया वाले छू लेते दिल के तार से इंडिया वाले हर जीत छीन ले हार से इंडिया वाले दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले उंगली पे सबको नचा दे हम इंडिया वाले
आँखों की चाबी से थोड़ा बेताबी से चुपके से खोले दिलों के ताले जा देते उसको जहाँ देते अपनी माँ देते जिसकी भी बाहें गले में डाले
दुनिया से हमको क्या ले जाना यारों के दिल में हो ठिकाना एक बार होता है प्यार ये लाख बार कहला ले कहते हैं हमको प्यार से इंडिया वाले छू लेते दिल के तार से इंडिया वाले हर जीत छीन ले हार से इंडिया वाले दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे उंगली पे सबको नचा दे दुश्मन के छक्के छुड़ा दे हम इंडिया वाले
Wow, so much energy. Damn, that was awesome. Now, for our final item of the evening, I know it's sad. My journey's almost end with you guys. I know you'll miss me. Everyone always does. Again, the dance floor is open, and I'm going to see everyone up here, everyone down here to dance. Now, can we please welcome our final performers for tonight, Matana Meke Group. What a night it's been, hey. That was awesome. What a great final performance, and once again, thank you for everyone attending on a Sunday night. I know that the smell of Lovo has reached my nose and I am starving, and I know that you probably are as well. Thank you once again to everyone who's attended tonight, our performers, our speakers, and of course, all the background members who made tonight possible.
As a final message, tonight's major sponsor was Dale Family Charitable Foundation. And there's information at the back of the program with more about who we are and what we're interested in. Please reach out to the organization if you want support on more nights like this and from our Fijian heritage. I have been Sinu.
And I'm Sunny.
Thank you for being an awesome audience. Please enjoy dinner and remember and the remainder of the night. Vinaka Vakalevu and happy Fiji Day. And just before we eat, I'd like to invite Pastor Alan to come and say grace.
Dear God, we thank you so much for this great evening. Thank you so much for making this day possible that we can come and celebrate our heritage and our independence. Lord, we thank you this afternoon for the government of Fiji, the Prime Minister, his cabinet, the opposition, and all the people of Fiji. I also pray for all the embassies across the world, all the consulates, and all the high commissioners. I pray, Father, that you will continue to give the Fiji government wisdom, guidance, and understanding. I pray that you will prosper our nation, bless our resources and our people. Thank you for favor that they will get from the rest of the leaders of the world. I pray that you will continue to help us, guide us, and lead us in your ways. Father, thank you so much for the food that has been prepared for us today. Thank you for the blessing and the provision of it. I pray that you will bless us as we partake it together and have fellowship. May the rest of the evening be blessed. Amen.
All right, folks, that's it. Thank you. Food's prepared at the back, so please make sure you grab yourself a plate and some food as well. And any questions, come find myself or any members of the charity, and we're happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much.
Isa volani la sadina namula ko nararawakina baba bega ko amai takawa namula ko nasengani lasa Sana vodo e na mataka